Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Power Rangers Artist Tribute book. This is actually something really neat. You know, it's not until recent years we've started to get sort of things like this for Power Rangers because it's such a niche thing. But it's basically, if you're familiar with other types of superhero genre things or comics or Star Wars or whatever, we'll have, you know, like a book of like art. It's not like, oh, fancy art, we'll go into the gallery and like swish some wine around. That was like Pegasus, like, oh, Yugi boy. Anyway, but you know, it's like comic art, like neat sort of comic stylized, almost comic book cover-ish art, if that makes any sense, to sort of to simplify it. And the cover is Mighty Morphin, as you can see, and there is a great deal of Mighty Morphin in it, but it is certainly not all Mighty Morphin. I'm not going to cover every page because that would just seem kind of ridiculous and defeating the point of me recommending the book, but I'm going to go over some highlights and the first set of pages, because once you get into the meat of it, they actually do have an in-order page designated for every season, which is neat. But it is hardcover. It's pretty nice. It's a little thinnish, which makes sense, but it feels nice. Good quality. Like I said, nice hardcover. There's really cool art here on the front of the Core 6 MMPRs. You got Zordon looking over him like a creeper. 25th anniversary little medallion, and then the back here has the villains. There's a little description there. You can pause if you want to read it. Also, you know, like all the artists and stuff like that. Mine's a little damaged because of the way they shipped it, so I'd recommend, if you can, try to find it in person if you really care about you know, stuff like this. Like, this bothers me, but yeah, I would just recommend that. I got it from Amazon, and it like was just in a little envelope thing with very little other protection or anything. But yeah, and you open it up here, and there's like a bunch of logos, and that's it. No. But that's kind of neat. Like, it's a little background of all the different logos. Even Alien Rangers is right there. And then you have like this bit where like you open it up and you have like two false starts, like, yep, it's the artist tribute, yep, it's the artist tribute again, but there's like some art there, kind of. And then there is the table of contents, and then here's a foreword by Paul Schreier, so that's cool. There's also an afterword at the end, not by Paul Schreier. It says on the front who does the other ones. Okay, now here we start. So we got like a nice MMPR art here, which looks really neat. There's a picture of Zed there, and then we're gonna have one for every season, which is neat. You got Alien Rangers, MMPR Season 3 Ninja Rangers. I think no, this is the show ones, because the at least I think they're the show ones because they're covering more of the face. But regardless, actually yes, they are the show ones because Ninja wasn't in the movie. I'm the dumbest boy in school. All right, then we got a Zeo one, which is really cool with the Megazord. Definitely differently stylized. I really dig the Turbo one. I think it looks really clean and cool. I like these all kind of give me a vibe of, hey, what if we were doing comics other than MMPR? In Spaces is also a huge highlight. Love that one a lot. Lost Galaxies looks pretty neat as well. Lightspeed Rescues still has a mistake. See if you can spot it. That's right, kids. No, they mixed up green and blue's helmets. I think they showed like a preview of this a while back, and I thought, oh, they'll probably try to fix it before it comes. No, just Chuck Testa. The Time Force one is really sleek. I like it a lot. And then Wild Forces is interesting. It's a lot more of a chibi stylized thing, which I do dig it, but I'll be honest, I was slightly disappointed because I was looking forward to a super normal-ish one. Like, I like this art. It's just all the other ones are more normal. Like, I guess Ninja Storm's here is pretty stylized, although it kind of fits its vibe. And I love Sensei back there in his hamster form. And I really like the designs for the Ninja Storm guys. Dino Thunders is really cool. It's like super artsy, almost watercolory. I really dig it. SPDs is pretty neat. It's a little more stylized, but I like that they incorporated A-Squad into it. I think that's cool. You got Mystic Force there, which I think looks pretty awesome. You got a good chunk of like the early villains there. Overdrives is neatly stylized. It's not my favorite stylized form for the Rangers I've seen in this book, but I like that they're all in Sentinel Knight. I thought that was a neat little touch. Jungle Furies looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. I'm a huge fan of Jungle Fury and Geki Ranger, so especially like the suits and stuff. So RPMs is pretty cool. Those are not googly eyes. Samurai is very fitting of that design, like just that whole samurai vibe. That's really descriptive. But say what you want about these seasons, but the Megaforce / Super Megaforce one is awesome. It's one of my favorites. I really like it a lot. It helps that they're probably two of my favorite suits overall like team suits, but that one's really neat. I appreciate it. We saw a preview of this one a while back if you kind of keep up with it on Twitter and stuff or in Power Rangers news. Dino Charge one, I really like the Dino Charge one. I think it looks pretty cool. Ninja Steel is pretty decent also, but I really dig that stylized look and the fact that we got pretty much everybody in there. Okay. And then they kind of move on to some sort of categories and some miscellaneous. You got a little bit there if you want to pause and read whatever you can for that. But like you see like villains and stuff with MMPR Rangers. And then we sort of have some character work, some individualized character work. And like all these are, at least from what I gather, are based off of the MMPR comic ones. Here's some highlight ones I thought were neat that come after the character work. This really neat Jason one. You know, you got regular Jason, Gold Armor Jason, Gold Ranger Jason, and you even have the Red Dragon Thunderzord, which I didn't notice at first. I thought that was neat. There's also a really cool Billy one, and if you can see, you got him in the ninja suit there. I thought that was pretty cool. Say whatever you want about Tommy, but I think this is a really neat one. I mean, it is really neat that he has so many different Ranger mantles, and I thought this was cool. I mean, you're missing Draken, but, you know, that looks neat. I like it a lot. And I like how they actually have, like, all the long hair bits, and then here it's cut, because he cut his hair. That was an amazing story. He cut his hair. I'm going to sell the movie rights. It's called Tommy Cuts His Hair. It's a sequel to Shattered Grid. These are some neat pages. You got like a Bulk and Skull tribute, all their different forms. Although I don't see one for like when they were with Professor Phenomenus or Flaminus or whatever. And it would have been cool to center around them in Countdown to Destruction. All of like sort of the Ranger-esque allies and other heroic type allies. It's a really neat page. Like you even have Circuit and stuff down there. It's really cool actually, and like included some people I'm surprised they decided to include. Like you even have Mystic Mother up there. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest. I've been a fan forever. It's probably someone really obvious, but I'm like, who dat? Is that Waldo? Did he make it into this book? On the next page is a really neat spread of all the morphers. I thought that was really cool. This was another favorite of mine, sort of the Mentor page. Like you got this neat sort of more artsy version. And then like the Mentor Ranger, and not Mentor Ranger, but Mentor's Break Room. I mean, you have a couple Mentor Rangers in there. I thought this was really cool. I really dig the art style of it. And I also find it kind of hilarious. Not hilarious like how Kendall's not qualified, but that Kendall is in the Mentor shot and not Keeper. Just like it just highlights how useless Keeper was. Like that dude was never around. And I just find it funny. Although I kind of wish he was included in this just because I think it would be a funny contrast of like all these human mentors and then you just got this creeper Muppet in the corner. But I thought that was neat and I like that Kendall was included in it. This one was really neat with some mentors and stuff, and I like that you have like Gosei by Zordon and stuff like that. And I also really appreciated this one, and it makes me thankful we very quickly used the animal Geki Ranger suits, because again, a huge Geki Ranger and Jungle Fury fan, so I really appreciated this one. There's a really neat spread of a lot of the Megazords in the middle. I thought that was really cool. Dug this one a lot. I'm only pointing this one out because of what a weird look on Tommy's face is. Like, it almost looks... It doesn't look right. Like, not like, oh, that doesn't look like good art. Just like, it's just like, oh, like, it's too much. Too far. I wanted to highlight this one because I like that you can see, like, the way the cloth folds on their necks. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it just reminds me of how obvious it was when we did original footage during, like, MMPR Season 2 and stuff, where they had, like, full-on neck braces. Here in the middle, you have, like, a full spread of the front and back cover, which is cool. This one's really neat. I think I've seen this dude's art like at conventions and stuff, and he does a bunch of different hero franchises, but this one's really, really neat, and he like sells prints and stuff. If it is the same guy, it might be a copycat, but I don't think so. This was kind of a unique one. All the different Ranger vehicles, I thought that was really cool. Like, you know, you got the Rad Bug and the Lightspeed Rescue Rover and Dylan's car, and like the turbo vehicles, just straight up being vehicles. Yeah, I thought that was neat. A really unique page. And then I have to highlight this. We have the romance section. So you got like Tommy and Kim get full 2-on spreads. You get Wes and Jen and then Ziggy and Dr. K. This is like a really weird thing to comment on, but I like how Wes and Jen have like the least quote unquote romantic panel, even though they had one of the more prominent love stories. I don't know. I just thought that was weird. There was a really nice one here too with Shelby and Tyler. I don't know how they didn't include Trobo Knight. Also, Calvin and Haley aren't in it, or Gia and Jake. But yeah, these are the last couple pages, stylized MMPR. You got this, like, White Tiger Zord like model kit bit. I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest. And then you got the afterword. But yeah, I showed quite a lot, a little bit more than I wanted to. And there's a lot I skipped over. A lot of it was really neat MMPR stuff. Like, even if you're not an MMPR fan or kind of sick of it, there's still some really cool art in there. Like, I would probably pick this up even if it was just like MMPR comic inspired art, because I think the art is really cool. But this is a really nice book. Even though there is a lot of MMPR, like a lot of the chunks I glossed over were MMPR, it does have a lot of art from other stuff in the series, and I especially appreciate some of the unique stuff. Like, it almost seems shocking to see it in there in a way, just because they do focus so much on MMPR and other stuff in stuff like this. So it's neat to see stuff like the Mentor break room, or all the little vehicles like the Rad Bug, like some really neat, like almost like deep cut references for people that are casuals, and I think that's really neat. So if you're a fan of stuff like this, I can definitely recommend picking it up. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the whole set here. Pick it up! Sorry, that was too far. Sometimes I just go too far, guys. No, but I definitely recommend it if you like stuff like this, and I'd certainly love to see more stuff like this in the future. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Ryder, signing out.